Hey guys, what's going on? Sincere here with whoissincere.com, Anon Radio Live, and the All Rights Matter show. I want to talk to you a little bit today about something that's really bothered me. I haven't shared this with anyone except for those very close to me that I'm held accountable to. So I've shared it with a few of them, like my show producer and some of my family and a couple of my friends. But this is the first time he's sharing this online, so let me just get right to it. In my reporting in the last few months, I've noticed a lot of things happen to my account, all of my accounts, my social media accounts. Within this last year of activism, I've been hacked, which is truly, I consider it to be almost impossible for me because of my very deep technical background. But I did get hacked. I lost the MacBook Pro to that hack. And that was when I was doing Justice for Philip White, exposing the corruption in southern New Jersey in a city called Vineland, where I'm from. I like I said, I lost the 17. Actually, the repairs were about $1,700 on that MacBook. Well more than what it's actually worth. I had it for about 3 or 4 years now. Along with these hacks, I've had several attempts to take over my accounts, whether it be through Facebook, YouTube, Google. I'm always getting the account. What do you call that? The account notifications that someone's tried to access your account. So that's happened several times. On top of that, it got a little bit more real recently. I've been doing live interviews with Brandon Curtis from the Idaho 3%ers. They're providing buffer security for those folks left at the refuge in Oregon. And through the live interviews and through actually getting to the media, getting to the story before the media can get to the story, I've noticed an uptick in the trolling on all of my accounts. And I mean, it's a heavy attack, but if I've learned anything within this last year is the trolls don't bother me. So the trolling hasn't bothered me, but it got real. So this is what happened on Friday morning, the Friday that just passed. Today is Monday. I was supposed to move into my new apartment here, so the night before, we're getting ready, we're getting everything, situated and stuff. I'm sorry, this happened on Wednesday night. We were getting everything ready, getting everything situated, and all that stuff. So Friday we were supposed to move in. So on Wednesday, we get everything situated. On Thursday, we're pretty much good to go. All I was doing is, getting the lady off to work, and just handling a few more things around the house. In doing so, it was about 7 o'clock in the morning, and all of our electric went off on the whole street, which wouldn't, normally that doesn't sound like anything big, but we had perfect weather. It was a very nice day on Thursday. There was nothing wrong. The temperature was fine. It wasn't, ridiculously cold or anything like that. And the streets that were around me, their electricity was on. So it was my whole street. And then as I drove up my street and drove into town, it was part of the town. Okay? The section that I live in, Chattanooga. Now, this is highly rare. You have to understand I'm on a smart grid with EPB. During that time frame, at the same exact time that the electricity went off and the house went black, I told the lady, I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take you to work today, and, we'll do it like that so I don't have to just sit here in a house with no electric. Upon pulling out of my driveway to actually take her to go to work is when I spotted a black SUV parked behind my house, and it was pulling off at a pretty fast rate of speed. When I went to approach, not really approach, but when I went to pull up behind this vehicle, which was probably, I'd say, about 50 yards in front of me at this time. It pulled out of the driveway behind my house, which is my neighbor's driveway. It was like directly behind my house. Pulled out of there. As I pulled out of mine, it pulled out just before then. So it was about probably 50, maybe 60 yards in front of me. And we drove up a little bit, less than a quarter of a mile, and it made an abrupt stop in the middle of the street. So I stopped because as soon as it stopped, the truck put on its reverse lights. Now, as it was reversing, I looked ahead of it and I saw that there was another black truck just like it. So that one keeps speeding off, and this truck reverses in the middle of the street, goes down a long driveway, which is nothing more than a house behind a house. It was like a driveway for two houses, but goes down this long driveway. I mean, backs down at a high rate of speed. Two white male individuals were in the truck. So I'm telling my lady, look, something's not right. My senses were starting to go off. I was feeling something is absolutely not right. One, our electricity, out of our whole time being there, it's never just shut off, in the daytime for any reason. There's never an overload on the system. It's never happened, not once. And I've been out here for almost 2 years now. Two, my neighbor, which has the driveway right behind my house, she's about 90 years old. She rarely ever comes outside. The only people that come are the people that tend to her, the people that help her out, which is her family, her children. So, and none of them owns a black SUV. Okay, so the red flags went up and my senses went crazy. So I went down the street a little bit more. I turned around. We have a roundabout at the end of the street. I turned around. I came back. Just to see if that black truck, I would have had some kind of resolve just seeing that black truck still in the driveway of where it backed into so quickly after pulling out a driveway right behind my house. So, as I'm driving up the street, I'm looking in the driveway, there's no black truck there. Okay? So, driving a little bit more, a few more feet up, I'm passing the street to my left. And I immediately look to the left and the two black trucks are sitting there. They're actually turning right on that street, so they would have been coming towards me, but I was passing that street at the time. As they kept going up, the street, they both suddenly put on their brakes, in which I had already passed the street that they came from, so I put on mine too, and we were just sitting in the street for a second, and then they sped off. So I turned my truck around and tried to locate and see which direction they went in. Couldn't find out anything. What I did do, though, is when I came, initially when I had saw them and decided that something was going on and I came back around to see what was going on, I turned on my video camera. And I was able to get the two trucks in the video camera. I only got a piece of the second one, but I definitely got the first one. So these are all blacked out, black window trucks, just everything black on them, and they just reek of federal vehicles. Now, I've committed no federal crime. I'm not doing anything. I don't plan on doing anything. That's not how I roll. Instead, I put out the information so that we can join in unity and bring some kind of resolve to all these situations that we're in as a people. And you're probably asking, well, why am I putting this information out now, and why didn't I put it out last Thursday or Friday? I'm going to tell you straight up. First, it was my last day of living where I just came from. I just moved into my new place. My first day was Friday, and it's what I've been doing all weekend is moving. First, it was that. I had to do all of that. I had to get out of there. Second was I had to figure out how I really felt about this. It shook me up. I'm not even going to lie to you. It shook me up some. So I'm still trying to come to terms and grips with why they would even want to target me for any kind of surveillance or whatever the situation was. I don't know if it was a more sinister plot, but I do know that it shouldn't have been happening. So as I sit and I try to figure out, why this happened, I just keep coming up with more questions. And I'll give you a couple of them. One of the questions is it because I held a secret security clearance and worked at a high level of government at one time? That would be probably an obvious yes. Two, is it because of what I've said about the Army after next from 2016 to 2028? I think that's a bingo there too. What about Black Lives Matter and uncovering the FBI and CIA infiltration and their tactics dating all the way back to Darth Perry? That might be a reason too. For actually starting as a radio show host on Anon Radio Live, and being a voice of Anonymous, as someone that has a very large technical background. That could be a reason too. And another question is starting my own organization, All Rights Matter, and the All Rights Matter show. Giving a voice to average people, giving a voice to those who want to be heard, and putting out the truth, unfiltered, whether you're Democrat or Republican. And I'm not playing any sides. And if you roll with my movement, we don't play sides. We play right and wrong, and we go after those who are wrong. And we don't go after them in a bad way. We go after them in a way that's, filled with righteousness and looking for justice. So it's in speaking out and standing up and acknowledging. So there's so many questions, and even more questions than the ones I just asked, but so many questions that lead up to why. I'm still trying to figure out why. Because it could be any one of those reasons, it could be all of them, or something completely different. But I do know one thing, that for the last few days I may have been, you can even say a little bit scared. Because I was uncertain as far as what's going on. But I do know one thing. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Unless I'm killed, I'm not going to stop. Because the truth needs to be exposed at all cost. It doesn't matter about Democrat, Republican, white, black, poor, rich, fat, skinny, tall, short. None of that matters. Instead, all of our rights matter. That's what's being taken from us. Our rights are being taken from us. That's the very reason for my movement, the All Rights Matter show. Hashtag All Rights Matter. Is because we have to come together through unity and solidarity to fight the powers that be. That's the reason why the German people ended up under such a terrible rule. Because they were complacent in what their freedoms are, their liberties are, and what they could do for one another. And the United States is headed in the same direction. We don't take care of our brethren. We don't care about our brethren's downfall or our sisters. We don't care about what happens to them. And that's a problem, and that's what we need to fix as a country and as a people. If we can do that on our end, on the lower end, and get it right, then we make a better future for our children. That's what All Rights Matter is about. That's why I stand up for the people in Oregon. Because they're fighting for constitutional rights. And that's something that we can all get behind. If Obama stood on stage and ripped up that Constitution right now, and said, I don't care about this anymore, none of it matters, I guarantee you this country would be in upheaval. And the same thing should be true for what's happening in Oregon. The same thing should be true for the bombing that happened in Philadelphia. The same thing should be true for Private Lavina Johnson. So, guys, the whole gist of it is this. If somebody is standing up for righteousness, if someone is standing up for justice, join them. Don't tell them that their cause has no merit. Look into it, research it, listen to what they're saying, whether they're white, whether they're black, poor, rich. Everyone's rights matter. Even animal rights. Sometimes I think animals have more rights than us. And even worse than that is, sometimes I think most people are okay with that. But every one of God's living creatures has rights. And that's how I look at it. We, as being the advanced leading species of this planet, we have all of the rights. We have domain over the whole planet. But at the same time, even though those are our God-given rights, those things are being taken away from those that would wish to rule this planet by themselves and just have you slaves on the planet. Now, if you have another planet to go to and you don't care about that, that's fine, because you have another place to go to and you don't have to be concerned in that. But if you don't have another planet to go to, you should be concerned about what global governments are doing. You should be concerned about a global carbon tax. You should be concerned about the TPP. You should be concerned about these things, and I'm not going to stop talking about them until people get the real knowledge about what's going on. Now, I've had to stop this recording about 3 times because my phone keeps messing up. Funny, isn't it? But I'm speaking truth to you guys, and I appreciate everybody that subscribed to my channel. I ask that more of you subscribe to my channel. And just keep spreading the word. That's all I can do. Do I get paid a lot to do this? No, absolutely not. I haven't really gotten good at asking for donations yet, but I'm going to figure out a way to do that soon. But outside of all of that, I'm going to do this. I don't care if I was poor or broke on the streets. I don't care if Google takes their advertising money. It doesn't matter to me. None of that's going to shut my voice down. None of that's going to stop me from talking to those who I want to help. And I wish that there was a lot of people that felt the same way. So far, I'm looking at my YouTube list, and I'm seeing about 2,700 people that do feel the same way, and that makes my heart happy. So I thank you to all my subscribers. But 2,700 compared to over 300 million, we have to do a lot more. So I'm going to be releasing that video, guys, so you guys can see what's been going on in my life. I grappled over whether I should do it or not, but I am going to be releasing that. Make sure you just stay tuned and look forward to seeing that, because I guarantee you're going to be shocked. So, guys, make sure you pray for me if you're the praying type of individual. And I'm going to keep doing what I do. Make sure you download my app in the description section. That app is going to let you know when I go live on the radio. I really don't give out too many notices. My only set show is for Wednesdays between 8 and 10. But other than that, we go live many other times after the set show. So download the app and you'll be able to figure out when we go live, so you can catch breaking news events before the news media even has them. So we're doing a really good job here in alternative media, and we want to have you join us. I have a small little team of folks that are helping me, but we're building up from here, guys. We're not on the level of TYT with over 5 million subscribers in their network, but hopefully one day with your support and with what I like to call evolution, we will evolve to that state. We need to evolve from the things that these elite dictators and technocrats are doing to us. It's time to evolve, guys. All rights matter. Stay alert, stay alive.